Sometimes in C# programming you might want to do fairly complicated types of tests, so in this video I'm going to introduce how to do those sorts of tests using some of the C# operators.
Now let's look at some complicated test conditions. We've already seen how two tests can be strung together by an OR, that's two upright bars, and that sort of test succeeds. In other words, it evaluates as true if either one or the other condition is true. But sometimes you might want a test to succeed only if both conditions are true. Now to test that you need to use an AND operator, and that's two ampersands, like this. Now here I want the user to enter a greeting into the user input text box and a name into the name input text box. So here I've set the msg_len and name_len variables to the length of the text that's been entered. I can now test the value of those variables. If both msg_len and name_len are 0, then both text boxes are empty and I display this message. But if only one of them is 0, that is, if either msg_len or name_len is 0, then I display this message. If both values are greater than 0, then both text boxes contain some text, and I now check to see if the text in user input is not hi or hello. I display this message. And finally, I have a catch-all else section that displays this message in all other cases. Now, this will become clearer when you run the code, and you just try entering various different pieces of text or no text at all into the two text boxes. Click this button and you'll see various different messages displayed according to what you enter. Now, so far I've used the equality operator, the double equal sign, to test if one value is equal to another. But there are other operators that can be used too. I've attached some tests to the click event handler, the code that executes when this button is clicked. So let's take a look at this. Now here I'm using the less than or equals operator, which is a left pointing angle bracket followed by an equal sign. And this test says if the value of I is less than or equal to the value of j, then do this. Otherwise, do this. There are examples of other operators listed in this comment block here. Now I suggest that you take the sample code and you try them out one by one. All you need to do is simply replace the operator here with one of the operators listed in this comment block. So for example, here I've got less than or equals. I can edit it, and now this has changed it into the less than operator. Now with the less than operator, the test is only true if the value to the left is less than the value on the right. Unlike the less than or equals operator, if the values are equal, it returns false. Now let's look at some of the other operators. This one is the greater than operator. This is the greater than or equals operator. And this one means not equals. It succeeds only when the values to the left and the right are different. And I suggest that you try each of them out and run the sample code to check the results.
To learn programming in depth, enroll in one of my courses or read one of my books. More information at bitwisebooks.com.